Hey guys, I just wanted to make another video today. This one is going to be like a two-parter. For a while I'm going to talk about my experience with menopause, which is a good and a bad thing, and also an interesting interaction that I had with a customer yesterday. So I'll just start with that. So I have a twin sister. We're identical, and she lives in... she doesn't live in the same city as I do, and we don't go to the same school. And yesterday, when I was working at the register, a customer asked me if I had a twin sister, and I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, and she used to work here, right? And then I was like, no. And he's like, I've seen your twin sister working here before. And I realized he was talking about me. I thought that was really funny. Just, like the things people do to rationalize something. Like, I looked different enough that he knew he didn't think I was the same person, but, not, close enough that the person he used to see had to be my twin. So that was just really funny. That cracked me up. So that was just interesting. And then about menopause. Fun stuff. So when I started going through menopause, I felt kind of excited about it because that meant that, my reproductive system was kind of taking a different route, and, it meant no more periods and stuff like that. So and it meant that, my hormone therapy was making good progress. And so I was really excited about that. And I started going through menopause about a month after I started hormones. And let me tell you, I really wish that more trans guys talked about this in videos, because the first time I got a hot flash, I thought I had just gotten deathly ill or something like that, or suddenly had an outbreak with a fever. Because it feels like I know I've seen commercials for estrogen and stuff like that, where it shows the woman with her head out the window, like a dog trying to get fresh air. But that doesn't really illustrate how a hot flash really feels. If I would describe it, it's kind of like being put in a pot of boiling water, like a lobster. It's just suddenly you feel really hot, and there's just no relief. You can fan yourself off, you can wet your hair, the back of your neck, you could, take a couple layers off, change into shorts. It doesn't matter what you do, you still feel hot, and it comes on, so quickly. And, the longest hot flash I've had, I think, lasted for, 15 minutes or something like that. Sometimes they're shorter. But, my God, it was terrible. And, at first, I remember, because my mom was actually going through menopause. I have hot flashes every now and then, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. It's just every once in a blue moon, and I haven't had one for a week or so, and before that it was 3 weeks. But my mom was going through menopause at the same time, so I guess we kind of had that to talk about and compare notes. But it was just it's crazy. Yeah. But obviously, on the bright side, for trans men, it is a little different, because, especially if you're on HRT, because you're having the testosterone artificially injected or added to your body, you don't have exactly the same symptoms, and they're not as bad. I think the menopause that women go through is definitely worse, because when you go through menopause, it means you have a significantly lower level of estrogen in your body. But when you're a trans man, you're also getting that testosterone, so you don't have the loss of libido or as many mood swings, because while your estrogen is being suppressed and lowered, you still have that other hormone, so it's easier to function, I think, and it's not as devastating, but you still have some symptoms like the hot flash, and your period stops. So that So in some ways, I think it is much better. Like, my experience was much better than what my mom has been going through. And because we trans men are on hormone replacement therapy, menopause doesn't last nearly as long, because eventually you get your T levels up to a normal, maintainable level, and then your body isn't relying on the estrogen as much. So it's just kind of this awkward transition period where you have these menopause symptoms. So to those guys who are going through menopause right now, it's only temporary. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. And for people who are just beginning to start on hormone replacement therapy, brace yourself. After the first hot flash you have, you're not dying or anything like that. That's just what it is, and it's only temporary. And while it is like a female bodily process, take pride in the fact that it means that, your transition is moving forward, progressing, and that you're not going to have, like, a period anymore. So it's kind of take the good with the bad. And that's all I had to say about that today. Just a really brief video. If you guys have any funny hot flash stories or something like that, let me know in the comments. Alright, see you later.